and a very good evening to our dear viewers tonight. Firstly, allow me to thank you for the comments and inspiring suggestions you've made. It really triggers conversations at home, and also for us, sometimes to think, have you seen that comment? And it's really something what we can add to our lives for the next day and so forth. Unfortunately, today, Salma Moses is not with us, and she will not be able to make it, and hopefully next week again. And today, with me in the studio, I have once again Berthold Mukuahima, our group human capital director of the group, as I said. And then we have got Amanda van Zyl. In fact, Amanda is a very interesting case. She joined us in 2009 in the TAP program, which is a talent attraction program. And now 11 years later, she is the our group manager strategic leadership. So she takes a big role in development of strategic leadership. Last week, we asked you to list your accomplishments. Now, we have made available that, or if you can just make some time available to list your accomplishments in the comment section. And maybe you just want to add how difficult that was. And, you know, it is so important that we dare to share. You know, it's caring, you know. And many times we grow up and we shouldn't boast and we shouldn't do this and that. But sharing accomplishments and sharing how that was helps others. So this is a part of our leadership. And for us, a critical element of leadership is sharing your world, sharing my world, and which is really helpful for others to learn from and be inspired by, because each and every one of us is inspired by somebody else's accomplishment. No one will say, oh, how boring. Most people say, wow. And so we need to take the confidence for that. Now, as we talked last time, a big first step in finding your genius is listing your accomplishments. And as we know, it's really a practice of identifying small accomplishments which are very important, and it's becoming like a roller coaster. It's becoming more and more important to list them as they trigger your being in the better of yourself, or in the better, best of your version, but it also helps others. And now we're going to also ask my colleagues here how that was for them. Now, Amanda, how difficult is it to list your accomplishments?
Yes, Sven, for me it was also extremely difficult. And my initial thought was, how is it possible to list 100 achievements if you're in your early 30s? And then I thought, okay, what is an accomplishment? And it's maybe something that the world out there would regard as a huge success. But then when you really sit with yourself and you really spend time with yourself and you dig deep, then you find those things that you are really proud of, that makes you proud of who you are and what you've accomplished. And you get that feeling of satisfaction and fulfillment. And when you find those things, then you easily get to a list of 30 or 40 things. And again, if you read back on that list and you see the things that you are proud of, those are also the things that you then see are the things that are important to you and which makes life worth living. And then by listing those things that you're really proud of, you also get closer to your genius and to your purpose, the things that really makes you happy and gives you satisfaction.
And I guess reading it, you just realize, wow, what a great person am I, actually.
Yeah, and what am I capable of?
Sure, yeah. Berthold, how was it for you to listing the accomplishments?
No, Sven, just like Amanda said, it's difficult, and it's actually unusual, you know, to get such an assignment, to list your accomplishments, you know. We grow up to be humble. Our parents said, look, you must be humble and don't show off too much and so on. But I think listing accomplishments for me, when I started, it was difficult, but as I went on to list all the accomplishments and so on, but as I reflected on them, say, wow, is this really me who has done all these things and so on? And what it did to me was about my own capabilities that I did not know I have. You know, that if I could accomplish these things, what else could I accomplish? But one can go further and ask yourself, but what is it that I was thinking when I was doing all these things and so on? And it really put you in a mode that you have got kind of unlimited abilities to do things and to accomplish things, especially when you look back on the things that you have done, you know? And that is really what it has done to me, is to realize the capabilities of myself. And the beauty of this whole thing is that everybody has got these things. Yeah, if one could challenge people to list their accomplishment and to reflect on them. Yeah.
Yeah, and the strange part is that once you get into recognizing all these accomplishments, somehow you're attracting more.
Exactly. Yeah, somehow you attract more because I think it gives you self-confidence to realize that if I could have done this, what else? What if I tackle the next assignment or the next project or the next personal aspiration that I want to do? Yeah.
And also,
success breeds success, as they say.
Yeah. I find often that when you really have this huge task circuit, and then comes this accomplishments before, you think about, I was there before. It was so difficult before, and I thought I will never overcome it, and I did, and I knew I'd come, and that's why I'm here today. And that's what that's why it's important to list these accomplishments. But Amanda, now why is it such a challenge for us to list these accomplishments?
Yeah, I think, Sven, we never learned to celebrate ourselves. We never learned to be proud of ourselves. And I also think many a times in life, you are so quick to jump from the one achievement to the next one. You just have to do the next thing, and you never spend time on really recognizing yourself and really celebrating and thinking of what you've just achieved, because you're just going for the next one. And I think that's why it's so difficult to list those things, because you've never learned to do that, and you've never made time to do that.
And you think we should do that perhaps already at school?
Definitely. I think we must learn. Children must learn from an early age to be mindful, to learn how to celebrate themselves, to learn to get to know the feelings that they have for themselves, and learn to be proud of themselves, learn to celebrate the small things that they achieve in life. Because everything that you get right or that you achieve in life should be celebrated, not only the big things. There are many small milestones that you achieve while you are growing up and even while you are an adult. And we should learn to celebrate that more often. So definitely children should be taught from a very high age, from a very young age, to celebrate successes and keep a journal almost of everything that you achieve in your life.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Berthold, I mean, you are like the human capital father of the ONL group. What is it that you observed, since we are driving this accomplishment, what impact does it have on people? What is that you see all over the group?
Yeah, Sven, I think many a time we study the environment, we study nature, we study other people and other things and so on, but we don't study ourselves. And I think when we study ourselves by listing our accomplishments and reflecting on them, what I'm picking up within the group is that it's a kind of an aha moment that I pick up in our teams, that people realize that, as I said earlier, that they are much more capable of doing things and achieving great things than they thought they were. Many a time, a task from the beginning appears so difficult, but once you have achieved it and look back at it, so it was difficult, but it was not so difficult. It's achievable, and I think it gives you the self-confidence to want to tackle other things, other personal aspirations, personal goals, and business goals as well. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up within the ONL group. It's the self-confidence that people develop in themselves.
Yeah, the accomplishments is obviously, it's such a, I remember when we started, how we thought, so what is this all about, is it really necessary? Is it really got something to do with leadership? You're thinking, hey, we have to run a business. You really, you have to look at the operational things, but that's not true. Yes, of course, but if we are in our best version, driven by accomplishments, and the work we can do, how the efficiency we have, is just another world. So to our viewers, once again, it's critical. One thing we can give you is to really list those accomplishments, generate a environment around you that makes you positive, that makes you want more, and that's why it's so important. And as I said earlier in the show, share with the world, share with your family, share with your friends, but obviously allow them to share too. Don't make it only you sharing, but allow others to share with you too, so that we really impacting a positive environment. Now, the impact that we can have through this, and then obviously the genius that we, as we said, we have to identify in ourselves, is a major tool in achieving one's dreams and goals. Especially in our group, we have made this center focus to achieve great things. And here next we will show you a video clip of how and what we do within the ONL group. Let's look forward to the video.
Imagine an organization where leaders have a mindset where they see their job as inspiring performance, achieving breakthrough results through people, and having the opportunity to empower and develop people to perform, talking to the heart and soul of the person. We unlock the full potential of people, and as a result, achieve personal and organizational purpose and goals. There is a proactive and forward-looking performance discussion to inspire breakthrough behavior. There is flexible goal setting linked to the ONL 2025 Breakthrough Strategy. We empower each and every person to live in breakthrough and achieve results, enabling them to feel that they belong to something bigger, add value, and make a difference to the organization and develop to their full potential. We deliver organizational success through people's behavior, where people really experience the organization as the great place to work, and where people's values are maximized, appreciated, and rewarded. We have a reward model that does not only reward people financially, but also afford people the opportunity to grow, develop, feel valued, and belong to something that matters. We have a Connect to Inspire breakthrough model that provides leaders the opportunity to care for people and be there, making the small things count, making them big. A Connect to Inspire breakthrough model that utilizes the leadership competencies to get every person on the journey of breakthrough performance, to own the whole and achieve the overall ONL purpose and goals. Imagine if we already had it, what our organization would look like.
It is here, the new performance inspiration model. It is a new to world model which we have designed with our dear colleagues. The new system will connect people to inspire performance and breakthrough. We are very excited as this takes performance inspiration to the next level. It connects to you personally and it connects to you about the business. And we believe if the well-being of our people is looked after, you will be looking after the well-being of the company. And that is very important for our breakthrough performance to achieve our exciting Vision 2025. I can't wait to see how you would enjoy the system.
ONL leaders, with the new model, you don't only have the opportunity to grow as a leader, but as a person, making a difference in people's lives, as well as to contribute to the organization's success. With the Connect to Inspire breakthrough model, we will need to change the way we see our job. From today onwards, we will need to inspire and deliver breakthrough results through people, genuinely care for people, unlocking full potential in people. Don't worry about this journey going forward. We will be there every step of the way in full support.
Fellow ONL colleagues, you now have a chance to learn, grow, and take your performance to the next level. With the new Connect to Inspire breakthrough model, you have the opportunity to become the best version of yourself. This model enables you to manage and track your performance on a continuous basis. You may be wondering and asking yourself the question, how is this possible? How will I be able to do this? How will I be able to manage and track my performance? Don't worry about this, because the company will give you all the tools and guidelines to enable you to do this.
If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. Let's make the shift to Connect to Inspire breakthrough.
Once again, thank you for joining us at this week's episode of Talk to Sven. Before I ask Amanda, I just want to recognize David Nangombe's comment made. Humility as you accomplish your goals and objectives is key. How inspiring. And I think this is the sharing we need of everyone, so we can be inspired by these types of words, comments and words. Amanda, you are the main brain box behind the new program and taking us into a breakthrough mode. Tell us more about it. How does it work for our viewers?
Yeah, Sven, so the Connect to Inspire breakthrough model is something that we designed to replace everything we knew about the old way of managing performance. And what we said is that we would like to do something totally different, and that is to have more regular discussions about performance, about goals, and how to achieve them, to give more regular feedback to people, to help them to grow through the process, to focus more on the strengths and the abilities of people on how to achieve their goals on a more regular basis, rather than just having one discussion once a year, which becomes where you have to do ratings and it becomes complicated formulas and all of that, but really to have much more inspiring and regular discussions. And the main purpose behind Connect to Inspire Breakthrough is to inspire performance. And we do that through a coaching conversation. And the purpose of a coaching conversation is twofold. Firstly, it is to take a person through a journey of their own thinking. And by taking them through their own thinking, they find answers to their own questions. And then you also take them through a questioning exercise where they then remove all the barriers and obstacles they have in their mind for achieving the unthinkable. And while we do that, we open up new possibilities for that person then to realize, but I can do this. I can achieve this goal. And by people then achieving the goals that they've set for themselves, we then also achieve success in the organization. And the Connect to Inspire Breakthrough model is exactly what it says. It's a process of connecting with each other, where we really listen to each other, ask questions, inspire breakthrough, and then achieve the goals that we've set for ourselves.
Excellent, yeah. Berthold, we have got a question here from Gerald Cooper. What about sometimes setting goals too low and thus being content with small achievements and thus maybe not striving for greatness?
Yeah, no, Sven, thank you very much for the question. And that's why we call it an inspiration model instead of a performance management model, so that people can realize that they can actually achieve much more. You know, setting small goal or low target goals is really where people think that this is all I can do. But with this model that we have, we try to impact thinking so that people can remove any barriers in their minds or in their way of thinking. Because if there are barriers or what we call liabilities in your way of thinking, you tend to think negatively and pessimistically that I cannot achieve that sales target. And that's why we say we talk to the heart of the person, we inspire the person so that the person feel good. And I think when you feel good, you can achieve much greater things than when you feel bad. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think with the setting goals too low, is driven often that we are scared of failing.
Yeah.
How do you do that? You know, when we have this conversation, maybe Amanda, you need to also share maybe how does it work? You know, I think with the app and how do we, you know, where can we sit anywhere? How does it work?
Yeah. So the process that we've designed is we designed in such a way that people can have a conversation anyway, whether it's in the kitchen while having a coffee, driving towards to the next site at work, having a smoke break, or even a one-on-one in your office. And it's really, the idea is to have a casual conversation by asking a few questions where the leader asks a few questions to the employee. And we really start off by asking the employee, what stands in your way to be in your best version? And that can be anything, personal or something in your job, that could really be anything. And then through a questioning and a coaching conversation, trying to help the person to really remove all those barriers. And we believe when all the barriers have been removed for a person to be at their best, they will then take big stands, they will set great goals for themselves, and then we guide them through a process of tapping into their genius, their best thinking, so that they believe that anything is possible and the unthinkable can be achieved. And that's where that inspiration process comes in, where the leader really inspires and motivates the employee to do what they want to do. And it's all through a questioning and a coaching conversation. And through the conversation also giving feedback and recognizing the employee for the process that we are busy with and for achieving previous results, but also for learning and growing while they are busy achieving their results.
Berthold, how many times are these conversations, these performance conversations or inspiration conversations, how many times do they need to take place? And why not once a year up front?
Yeah. So maybe to answer that question, you know, when you talk about performance, the traditional way of performance management, and when you hear that next week, Monday, you will have your performance management discussion with your leader, your supervisor, you know, you get the creeps, you know, so just now then you go and try to collect all the evidence that you have achieved this target and that target, and also you compile a list of the reasons why you did not achieve what you wanted to achieve. There was no budget, no resources, and now with this Connect to Inspire breakthrough model approach is where we say Connect to Inspire, and you need to have regular check-ins with your supervisor or with your leader, and it's vice versa. In our case, we say the associate or the subordinate can check in with the leader. So I'm busy with this target, or I'm busy with this assignment, look where I am, and so on. So it can be initiated both ways, but the question is how many times? It's unlimited, Sven. It's unlimited. It can be weekly, it can be daily check-ins and so on, so that when you come to the end of the year, you have covered all the things, and it's not such a dreadful exercise like it is traditionally is at the moment. So it's continuously, and with the help of technology, it can be done anywhere, as Amanda has said, in a coffee shop or whatever.
Yeah, and I think, as we said it, to the question again, when people set low targets, you may do it this week, but the next week you'll be setting the next target.
Yeah.
This is how we need to overcome. And I think also what is important, that how unfair is it sometimes that you set an annual target for someone and you only have a performance conversation when the year is over. How did that change for us, Amanda? I think in the olden day, you said just now, it was dreadful. You can't, you hope that they would never come, because obviously if it was a good day, no issue.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't good, then you're in trouble. So how was, the impact of that? I mean, it has impact, right, on risk. It has impact on chances of you're allowed to make mistakes, right?
Yeah, so Sven, in the past it was a dreadful discussion, and it was a complicated discussion and it usually ended up in a bonus discussion, because performance management or reaching your KPI at the end of the year was linked to a bonus. We've completely divorced that. Our Connect to Inspire breakthrough model is completely divorced from rewards or from bonuses. And we're saying that to be able to be successful at the end of the year and reach the organizational targets, we must set much more regular goals, much more regular stands. We advise to take monthly stands, and all those stands should build up to the goal that we would like to reach at the end of the year. And the purpose and what we would like to achieve through these monthly discussions is then for a person to learn and to grow and to achieve these monthly milestones regularly. So that we don't get to the end of the year and then we tell you, but you've done all of these things wrong not to get to your goal or to your stand, but that we guide and empower and help and coach people to become successful early in the year and during the year, achieving monthly stands through the process. And we've developed an app to capture these discussions as we go. So we've also included a personal journal in that app. So you can even coach yourself on a weekly basis to make sure that you achieve your goals on every month. So we've completely taken away the fear, we've completely taken away complicated formulas and ratings, and we've made it a conversation where people can feel free, where people can discover what they didn't know about themselves, where people can explore, where people are allowed to make mistakes, where people feel free to take big stands because they know they will be able to do it through the help and the coaching of their leader. So we've taken away all the fear and we focus on inspiring and motivating people to be successful by focusing on their strengths and on their genius and what they're capable of.
Yeah, Berthold, and also this whole thing, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. And obviously allowing people to make mistakes. What do you think? How important was that?
People, and it's a general thing, people fear failures. And when they fear failures or when the environment is not risk-free, it kills and it stifles creativity and innovation. Because a person may be sitting with a great idea, but that person may then be fearing that if I stick my neck out and tackle these things, I may fail and my head may be on the block and so on. And so you lose creativity and innovation in the process. So what we are trying to do, or what we're trying to do with this Connect to Inspire breakthrough, especially with the regular check-ins and so on, is to allow people to explore, to express themselves, to share ideas, and to be creative. And to be creative. And if you make a mistake so that it can be correct quickly, it's better for a person to try something new, make a mistake, or achieve a major breakthrough as a result thereof, as compared to a person fearing that if I explore this or invest company money in this and the thing does not work, then it's a failure for me. So we try to create that a risk-free environment. And it comes not only from experimenting, but also from sharing ideas and asking questions from colleagues, from your leaders, even from people below you in hierarchy. We said, look, I want to do this. What do you think? How will this thing work, and so on?
Yeah, and I mean, that's, converting. I love this comment. Fail means first attempt in learning.
Exactly, yeah.
No? That's, I think, but when it has to allow the environment for people to make mistakes and obviously, to achieve a breakthrough, You'll go through many mistakes. And I think, again, to our viewers, it is very important that I think fail is first attempt in learning, because how can you do something very special if you're not daring? You need to be daring. You need to find ways of thinking completely different, out of the box. But that is only if you allow yourselves. Of course, you have to have the environment to to do that. Maybe one more question here, Amanda. How do we impact our families? I mean, so important, isn't it? We're creating this environment at work, trying to promote the positivity, and so how can we bring that back home?
Sven, my advice would be for family members to explore each other's dreams, to explore the things that the individuals or even the family as a whole would like to achieve. What are the things that we still like to do? And really explore that and talk about that a lot. Dream about it. Imagine the things that you want to do, even if it's small adjustments or something in your home, or whether it's going on that dream family vacation, or whatever it is that you want to achieve in your life. Talk about it often. Dream together and ask each other, but how are we going to do this? What are we going to do about it? And by exploring and dreaming together and asking each other, how are we going to do this? We spark that excitement, we inspire each other. And I always say, if you share your dreams with somebody else, they are in that dream with you. They want to achieve that dream with you. So they inspire and motivate you to achieve that dream, but they also hold you accountable to achieve that dream. So explore each other's dreams, dream together about it, and ask each other questions often on how are we going to achieve this.
Very interesting, yeah. Berthold, the question here, how are the employees performing after removal of performance rewards? Or linking it at least, I think that's the question.
Yeah, I think because we are used to this traditional way of performance management, we had to do quite a massive and major change management initiative within the group for people to think differently and for people to now realize that my performance is actually in my own hands, and also for employees to feel and that it actually depends on how you think about a target or about an assignment, and so on. This is now year one that we are implementing and experimenting with this. What I can say is that there's a kind of a feeling of first of all, a disbelief, but a relief that performance management, which we now call performance inspiration, need not to be feared the way we used to fear them, but it's actually an opportunity to learn and grow and to set the bar higher for yourselves and for the business as well. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And once again, it's Mary van der Merwe who asked this question. Thank you very much. Great question and great inspiration. There's another comment here, and maybe you can ask Amanda to comment on that one, is by Mukuahima, Shibo Mukuahima. At times we tend to focus more on the goals rather than crafting a plan and how to achieve those goals. In turn, it leads to failure of achieving your goals, which result in a feeling of worthlessness and stagnation.
So in our coaching conversations, when we have taught our leaders to ask specifically those questions. So what are the steps that you are going to take? What are you going to do next? What else can you do? What is the plan that you have? What is the specific goal that you have? So through all these questions that the leader asks the employee, they guide the employee to build that plan for themselves, to put out the milestones that they need to achieve to get to the final goal. So again, through that coaching conversation, they guide the employee to explore their own thinking, and while they're exploring their thinking, they're putting those action plans and the steps they need to take to make sure that they achieve their goals.
Yeah, and I think it's just on that comment, or again, we need to be mindful. It says we crafting a plan. I think we need to craft the best version of yourself to enable you, because plans are, like Berthold, you said, you can have those discussions as regular as you need. Well, that's daily sometimes, or it's weekly, but, so we got to be mindful that for us to be achieving something, we are in this phase of learning, and we are experimenting new things, and we're discovering things that we didn't know. And I think that's why I think it's not only crafting a plan, as it says here, but really to really look what is it that we can support and some colleague to really get in the best version, to find not only the person himself, but to find many around to make that plan. Very important. Yeah, I think that takes us almost to the end of the show. I mean, I think I could talk a lot longer. It's a passion, although I'm not an HR expert here, and here I've got the HR experts here. It's a big, passionate topic of mine. Berthold, any final words from you?
No, Sven, for me, it's really the whole concept of genius and what it is. And what I want to leave the viewer with is that a genius is not something that you are. It is something that you have, and all of us have it. It's a way of thinking, and it's a pattern of thinking that this is how one thinks when you are achieving great results and when you are in your best version. So I want to leave the viewer with that message or that advice that we all have got geniuses. We must just go and look for it by listing our accomplishment and asking ourselves the question, what was I thinking when I was achieving all these accomplishments? Yeah.
That's great. Amanda?
Yes, I think, Sven, while we are exploring our genius, I always ask people, what are the things that you say to yourself? So we all have those 1 or 2 or 3 quotes that we live by, those phrases that we tell ourselves when we are trying to achieve something. And that is your genius. It doesn't have to be a complicated thing where you have to go through a complicated exercise to find your genius. You know what it is. You just ask yourself the question, what is it that I need to do to achieve a goal? And then you have those phrases or those quotes that you live by, and that's your genius. So write those down for yourself and remind yourself of it on a daily basis.
Great, yeah. Wonderful. Berthold, Amanda, thank you very much for the conversation today. To our viewers as well, thank you for the comments. And remember, let's focus on the things we have and not the things we don't have. You know the law of attraction, the more you dream about and think about your accomplishments, you'll achieve more. That is just a rule that is out there. So celebrate what you have, celebrate your accomplishments, and guess what? You'll attract more than. I'm looking forward to see you next week. Thank you for tuning in once again. Bye-bye.